Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down the S&P 500, just giving you guys an overall market overview of what we can potentially expect over the next few days. So I'm going to break down, let's start off with Forex. So we're going to head over to GJ. So GJ, if you consult with the weekly time frame, again, top-down analysis is very crucial to any trading methodology. If you consult with the weekly time frame, essentially GJ rejected this major support zone, which is 156. This 156 area, if you guys look at what's been going on over the last few months, is pretty much where buyers are holding the gates. And if buyers were to fail to hold the gate, then we're going to see a massive sell-off, which buyers did hold the gates in quotations this time around. Now, when it comes to GJ, we've essentially rejected 156, and so far price is going bullish, which is expected. We have a nice bullish engulfing candlestick that printed here. Daily time frame also is very bullish as well. We've just broken this area of structure. We've just closed above here. I wouldn't expect massive sell-offs from this area, but what I would expect is a pullback. Now, if we consult with these higher time frames, essentially what we now have is some form of a range. So 161 is going to be my area of support that we're going to be looking at here on GJ. This area of support is important because this area of support is not just a psychological level, but it's a level that price has held over the last few days for quite some time. So I'm actually going to be setting an alert here at 161. Now, price currently is trading above 161 and price is pulling back what looks like it to be in the 161 range. We're about 20 pips off from the 161 range, which is where I would like to go long. If price does give me a nice clean rejection, then I will potentially be going long all the way up into 161,800, where I don't know if price is going to break that. As you guys can already see here, price struggled to break this 161,800 area over here, and so far, I mean, we're rejecting. So I mean, we have a pretty good opportunity here to potentially buy GJ at 161 for about a 79-80 pip move. Maybe have around a 20 to 30 pip stop loss. So the risk to reward is definitely positive. We're looking at over a 2.5 risk to reward ratio here. Really, it just comes down to waiting for price to come into this area, reject it, and if it holds, we can look to buy it on back up. Now we're going to be looking at gold. Haven't looked at gold in a while. It's been a few hours. So gold, you know, the only realistic area that I was talking about with my day trading institution group on buying gold, it would have been this 1915 area, because this is going to be our major support zone, as you guys could see over here. So 1915 would still be the best area to potentially buy gold. That is where I would really like to buy gold if I was to look to actually buy gold. But the way price is forming right now, what you could potentially do is look for a break above these highs, wait for a retest, and look to buy it up into 1945, which if you consult with 1945 with previous historical data, that's going to roughly be our next intraday resistance range. 1945, 1940s is where I would continue to actually look to buy gold up to. Now the NASDAQ, let's get into the indices, everybody's favorite. We're looking at the NASDAQ here, and price has actually pulled back up into this resistance range, as you guys could see, which is going to be 11,900, almost 12,000, let's call it here. So, I mean, realistically, there's not much to do here on the NASDAQ other than wait and see how price does consolidate around this area. If we get a nice clean break above, then obviously the best situation to do on lower time frames is wait for the break, the retest, and look to buy price up into this 12,046 range. That is definitely a possibility. But if price continues to kind of like consolidate around this area, then we could potentially sell off back down into the 11,600 range. Ultimately, buyers have been very strong over these last few days, so we may want to continue to look to potentially buy here, but I wouldn't hesitate taking sells at this area if price continues to hold this resistance range. It is a key level here on the daily time frame, as you guys could see, so I am going to be expecting some struggle, but not too much struggle ultimately. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. So yeah, this is kind of like an entire area. This 12,000 range is an area that you should be paying a lot of attention to, as it is a key level, as you guys could clearly see over here. Now let's go into the US30. So the US30 has printed a huge bearish engulfing candlestick at these highs, which is an indication that we could potentially go short Now, if we were to ask ourselves, where could we possibly go short from? I mean, realistically, like we could go short from this area over here, which is going to be this 33,800 range. This is an area of resistance, as you guys could see over here. That is an area we could potentially go short from. I mean, the daily time frame is not really set for me to go short right now. Now, keep in mind, if price does start breaking back under this consolidation range being 33,400, we can also go potentially short from there. So realistically right now, based off of a lower time frame, I only really see two setups. It is going to be either a break and retest to potentially go short, or sorry, to potentially go long, or if price starts to break under this area here being 33,400, we could sell it back down to 33,200. So realistically, like I said, there's really only two setups I would actually be paying attention to here on US30. It's going to be a pullback into this area. If it holds a support, then we'll come up into our previous support zone, which, as you guys can see, it's roughly around this range over here. So just watch out for 33,800, 33,900, that kind of like 100-point range. Or if we break under 33,400, I would definitely look for a sell-off at 33 or at 32,800 around there. Now with the S&P 500, so if we look at the weekly time frame here on the S&P 500, there's definitely more room for price to pull back into our weekly key level being 40.65. That is definitely a possibility. There's not real strong signs of selling pressure right now at this area. I mean, we have all these major areas of support getting kind of rejected, and we're starting to see price trade higher and higher. I mean, all the lows on the weekly time frame is just pointing bullish. We're just making higher lows. If we go to a daily time frame though, this is where things get or may get a little bit confusing, because we do have this resistance range here on the daily time frame, which is going to be 40.19. Now, if price breaks above 40.19, we're easily going to come back up into this 40.60 range, which is going to be our key level on the weekly time frame, which is something that we do have to be careful for. Now, if price does reject 40.19, then we could potentially see a drop back down into the, call it 40 or the 39.37 range, the 3900 area. This is something that we do have to pay a lot of attention to. This is something that we do have to be careful for, because price did already reject this area. If it continues to hold, then it could create pretty good selling opportunity to sell back down to 30.40. Plain simple market structure, nothing too complicated, nothing more complicated than that. You guys can already see over here, this is kind of where we've been rejecting this 40.32 area. This is going to be mainly based off of the 4-hour time frame, so something to be careful for. Again, you go to the daily time frame, this is kind of like the area over here. I mean, if we want, we can actually set this here, call it 40.40 to be a little bit more exact. So that is going to be our like main resistance range. It's going to be around this area all the way up here. Let's make sure this aligns on the 4-hour time frame, which it does. So I mean, let's kind of wait and see what happens with price over the next few hours here. Let's see what happens over the pre-market. Definitely, if we fail to break this 40.36, 40.40 area, we could definitely sell it back down, maybe into the 4,000 range. We're just going to have to wait and see what goes on here. Just wanted to give you guys a quick breakdown. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Take care, guys.